As of today, we are resolved that we no longer sit under their leadership as the court has declared their actions unlawful. Instead, we will continue to work with Speaker Kofa and convene with him as necessary in accordance with Article 33 of the Constitution, which allows us to meet and adjourn in the absence of a quorum. We will maintain this position until our colleague recognizes the authority of the Supreme Court and until the executive ceases its support for their unconstitutional actions. Further, we call on the Senate to honor and respect the Constitution by ceasing all business with this body that has been declared illegal.
The opposition speaker will not push our agenda. We need to have our own speaker. So today I'm a regime speaker. The speaker of the Republic of Nigeria is 100% supporting His Excellency Joseph Nimba County. No speaker from the opposition will be us. So we as politicians sat and saw the people of the general arrest or proceeding. The general was suppressed an opposition speaker. We will not sit there and let go any further. All the things we plan to do, we all get damage. But the community sent me a long scheme. What we are all
having listened to the well-written communication from Honorable Johnson S.N. Williams and Honorable James McClain-Ole, I move, if I can obtain a second, that the said communication be received and that the said received and that the delegates in question be recalled and that elections be held on Tuesday to send our nomination to ECOWAS and all other parliament that this body usually send member to. If I can obtain a second.
Honorable colleagues, with the motion being seconded on the basis of recalling our colleagues from ECOWAS that went in illegally and also having election on Tuesday, are you all right to vote? All right, Mr. William Fleming.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I will be ready to vote if the movement can accept this amendment so that instead of the election taking place on Tuesday, it can be pushed to Thursday, and then the Tuesday information will be circulated that there is vacancy, so that those who want to apply can apply for the sake of democracy. Yes, sir.
From the honorable gentleman from Nimba, you know, all of us here we want to see a just and more equitable process being held where elections can be held whether through resolution or whatsoever. I so accept in good faith.
The opposition speaker will not push our agenda. We need to have our own speaker. So today I'm a regime speaker. The speaker of the Republic of Nigeria is 100% supporting His Excellency Joseph Nimba County. No speaker from the opposition will be us. So we as politicians sat and saw the people of the general arrest or proceeding. The general was suppressed an opposition speaker. English.
Okay, good morning, wherever you are and whatever you are doing. Good morning, a pleasant welcome to yet another edition of the Today Show. This is your most preferred breakfast program here on Spoon 107.5. We're also coming to you live on our various social media platforms. We're live on Spoon TV, Super TV, Fabric TV, and via www.spoonfmradio.com. So, folks, wherever you are and whatever you are doing, it is always a pleasure to be here with you to serve you a very, very palatable breakfast here every morning. And yeah, this morning it promises to be very hot, very hot. Remember that we here to give you the best information that you need to know. So this morning, as usual, we bring you the weather forecast. We bring you the latest update from the CBL's website relates to the exchange rates. We bring to you, updates of trending issues in the country. We bring you, international reports, sports as well. Everything coming up here. We hope to cut across Liberia to speak with our various correspondents. At 9 o'clock, we'll play host to the Deputy Director for Administration at the National Food Assistance Program, Bob Cato. He's going to be our guest here at 9 o'clock, and we're going to be discussing some issues pertaining to that government institution or agency. So basically, that's a lineup. Your calls, your inputs will be made later on when we open the lines, so that you can opine on some of our discussions here. Again, my name is Yekezi Zogo. We hope to be joined by Chokon Flammer very shortly. But also, the dashboard is open for those of you interested in playing the radio entertainment game. The dashboard is open. It's been open since 7 o'clock this morning. So all you've got to do is to dial the playing code *799 hatch *799 hatch. And when you dial that code, you select number 3 for Spoon FM. Once you dial the code, you're going to see a list of radio stations. Spoon FM is at number 3 on that list. So you just select number 3 for Spoon FM, and you choose how to pay the playing fee of 70 cents US or 100 Liberian dollars. Once you do that, you automatically enter the draw, and you stand a chance to win bigly here on the Today Show or the Spoon Morning Show right here on Spoon 107.5 on via our various social media platforms. So you stand a chance to win 4,000 Liberian dollars or 8,000 Liberian dollars. The 4,000 draw will be done during the show. At the end of the show, we do the 8,000 draws. So the more you play, the more you win. It's a raffle draw or a lottery. So the more you play, the more your chances are to win. So if you've never played before, play. We will also be giving out 1,000 Liberian dollars to those who have been playing the game frequently but can win. Yes, we'll be offering them 1,000 Liberian dollars free of charge, just to encourage them to keep on playing. So yeah, if you see 1,000 in your phone this morning from the radio entertainment game through the Spoon Morning Show, well, that means you have been one of the regular players of the Spoon 107.5 Mega Daily Cash Splash. That's why you received that morning, and we will call up some of those individuals right here. And I've already drawn a winner, so I'm going to be placing a call to that winner very shortly before we go into the formalities of the show this morning. And this person number ends in 75. So yes, let's call up this person very quick. This person did play the radio entertainment game early this morning, and they are our first winner. So let's see if we can call up this person to know if they have received their 4,000 Liberian dollars before we go on with the show. The Today Show right here, it promises to be very, very interesting here on this beautiful Tuesday morning. Today happens to be the 18th day of the month of February. Well, this winner phone is just ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing endlessly. Yeah, we're gonna skip them, and when we do our second draw, of course, we are going to kind of caught up the person as well. So, folks, that's it. Let's quickly go to bring you the weather forecast. What's the latest when it comes to the weather forecast in Monrovia and its environment? Yes, we're in the dry season. We know we are experiencing usually a partly sunny weather or a sunny weather. Uh, a very hot atmosphere. Yeah, but let's know exactly what the weather forecast has for us. I don't know, but I'm experiencing a bit of cold during the evening hours of recent. I've been experiencing that. I don't know about you. I don't know whether that means rain wants to fall. But let's see what's here. So today the weather is going to be mostly sunny, and very, very warm, according to the weather forecast. It's going to be mostly sunny and very, very warm. Thunderstorm is at 6%. Precipitation is at 25%. So the weather is going to be mostly sunny and very, very, very warm. Of course, when the weather is mostly sunny, expect a very, very warm weather. All right. So if you got LEC to your place, forget it. Yeah. So, folks, that's it. Let's now go to bring you the exchange rate on the Central Bank of Liberia's website here this morning on the show. What is the exchange rate on the Central Bank of Liberia's website? Let's see what it is here this morning. Okay. All right. So according to the CBLs, the latest exchange rates. All right. It says the buy rate is 196 Liberian dollars to 1 USD, and the selling rate is 198 Liberian dollars to 1 USD. That is it for the latest exchange rates on the CBL's website. But if you go out there, you're going to see 200 rates. I mean, the rate just vary from one location to another. In Monrovia and its environs, in the other counties, there's a great variation in the exchange rates compared to what is on the website of the Central Bank of Liberia. Okay, so let's also bring you sports quickly. What's happening in the world of sports, local sports? Let's bring you local sports here this morning. So, in local sports, the Liberia Football Association has canceled all night games at the Tusa Field in Gardnersville. We brought that in our news earlier on. So, according to sources, an adjustment will be made in the remaining league fixtures, affecting matches scheduled to be played at the venue in the late evening hours. The league match between LPRC Oilers and Liscar FC was cut off due to poor visibility on Sunday evening. Oilers shot stopper informed sports journalists at the Tusa Field on Sunday that the LFA needs supporting lighting at the facility. And Jallo, who is the goalkeeper of Oilers, says that playing night games on the current lighting system at Tusa Field is terrible, especially for goalkeepers. The rematch of that game ended 0-0. League leader FC Fasoa has opened a 16-point gap with Liscar FC and LPRC Oilers at the top of the LFA First Division table with 9 games left to play in the 2024-2025 league season. But Liscar and Oilers have a game in hand each. Defending champion Watanga is 12 points adrift of Fasel after 17 rounds of league matches, while second place, the team Discoveries SA is 6 points behind the Soccer Missionaries, following the 1-1 draw with Watanga FC over the weekend. On Sunday, FC Fasel took a giant step towards clinching the first league trophy since the club was established in 2009, with an epic 2-1 win against Blackman Warrior at Tusa Field in Gardnersville. Emans Damaji, hope that got the pronunciation of the last name right, and Ezekiel Cohn scored a goal each in the first half to give Belgium coach Alvan Minlat's side a 2-goal lead into the break. Augusti Massacre netted Blackman Warriors a lone goal in the second half, and FC Fasel's next match will be a mid-week fixture scheduled for 19 February 2025 against a newcomer to the LFA's top league and second place club, Discoveries SA. In other results, Mighty Barrow defeated IE 2-1 at the Doris Williams Stadium in Buchanan, Grand Bassa County, while Freeport FC nailed Beer Mountain 1-0 at the Tusa Field. Global Farmer came from a goal down to beat Shatter FC 2-1 on Friday at the Tusa Field. Painesville FC lost 2-0 on the same day to Heaven 11. Yeah, so that's the latest in the world of sports. We hope to be joined by Sylvester Wowie for more when it comes to sports here. Sylvester is here, but he's not on camera. Let's join him to give us more when it comes to the passion of live sports. Sylvester, welcome.
Yeah, let me say good morning, Yakazid, and good morning to the many listeners following your voice this morning. It's good to be back. I know I've been ill for the last week, so I haven't been able to come on the show, but it's good to join you again this morning.
Okay. Yes, I was just giving some update when it comes to the passion of live sports, particularly local sports. Any other update besides the ones
I think the 16 points gap has been reduced yesterday.
Okay.
The match that was postponed on Sunday between PRC and Leska FC was played on yesterday.
Okay.
And it ended in a goalless draw, so meaning both sides took a point, cutting down the gap between they and the leader FC Fasel to 15 points now and no longer 16. And the search for a new coach for the Lone Star has finally been cut down. The Liberian government, through the Ministry of Youth and Sports, has come out clear to inform the LFA that they are not in a position to hire a foreign coach, because foreign coaches, man, you are very much expensive. So they advise the LFA that we settle for a local coach, and the man to take over the Lone Star for the remaining World Cup qualifier is the interim coach, Thomas Kojo, who contract expired in December. So anytime Thomas Kojo will be announced to the public as the new coach of the national team before Liberia World Cup qualifier with Tunisia next month on the 17th. And of course, we'll also be playing Sao Tome here on the 24th of March 2025.
Okay, thank you, Sylvester Wowie, for those updates when it comes to our local sports. We're trying to take some updates as well
From the international scene. Champions League football, I know.
So in the European leagues, La Liga played on last night. Barcelona.
Be frank.
My team,
your team, Barcelona.
Took on Real Vallecano. And of course, last weekend,
scrapped a 1-0 win for you yesterday from the penalty shoot.
It was. The game was very, very competitive. A lot of people thought it would have been an easy route. expecting maybe a 3 or 4 goals win for Barcelona, but that did not happen. The guys were very, 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 very competitive. But at least we were rescued. Barcelona.
Lewandowski was there to score the penalty for you.
Barcelona was rescued by a penalty shootout.
It took you back to the top of La Liga.
Yeah, sure. So Barcelona is now back at the top of La Liga, on top points with Real Madrid. And Real Madrid comes second. So Barcelona is on top of La Liga right now with more goals than Real Madrid. Atletico Madrid comes third on the La Liga table with 50 points, right behind Barcelona and Real Madrid. And Athletic Club comes fourth with 45 points. Valeria comes fifth with 41 points. And Rayo Vallecano, that was defeated last night, comes sixth with 35 points. Okay. But we got some news yesterday. Hope I can see this news. We got a report yesterday that Real Madrid are considering leaving La Liga. It's an all-confirmed report that Real Madrid are considering leaving La Liga because, of the too many rhetoric that of recent that has gone against them. The few that is intentional, the few that is deliberate, the few that is intended to stop their dominance in La Liga, and so they are feeling frustrated about that. And so unconfirmed report says they are considering exiting La Liga, and if they should exit La Liga, a few years back they ruled out going to the English Premier League. So and a potential destination could be the French League, Ligue 1, if they should exit La Liga. Yeah, but that's an all-confirmed report. Is yet to be confirmed by the management of Real Madrid. Yeah. So, folks, that's it for international news. Let's bring some international developments quickly. South Africa police hot on heels of suspects in gay imam killing. So it says police in South Africa are hot on the heels of the suspects behind the killing of Mohsin Hendricks, dubbed the world's first openly gay imam. Deputy Justice Minister Andries Neil has said the 57-year-old was in a car when he was shot dead in broad daylight in the coastal city of Cuba on Saturday. CCTV footage of the incident shows a hooded figure running out of a pickup truck that was blocking Hendricks' vehicle and then firing shots through the window. The imam was well known for his work in creating a safe haven for gay and other marginalized Muslims, and his killing shocked the LGBTQ plus community and beyond. An investigation is on the way, but Neil told the Newsroom Africa TV channel that it was too early to say whether it was a hate crime. Without giving further details, Neil said he was told by Deputy Police Minister Paulie Bashilo that officers were tracking down the suspected killers. Paying tribute to Hendricks, Neil said that he was a South African that we can all be proud of, a South African that we can all aspire to be. And in Mali, dozens killed in illegal gold mine collapse. So he says more than 40 people, mostly women, were killed after an illegal gold mine collapsed in Mali on Saturday. The collapse took place near Nimba in Mali's western gold-rich Kayes region. The victims had climbed into open pit areas left by industrial miners to look for scraps of gold. When the earth around them caved in, a gold miners union leader told the Reuters, "This is Mali's second deadly mining accident in 3 weeks, after at least 10 people were killed when a mining tunnel flooded late in January." There are conflicting reports on the number of people who died in Saturday's accident. A local police source told the AFP news agency that 48 people were killed in the collapse, while the head of an industry union told Reuters there were 43 victims. Yeah. So sad news there coming from Mali. Yeah, so folks, that's it. We will take a very short break. When we come back, we're going to be cutting across Liberia to talk to a few of our correspondents who will be filling us in with developments emanating from their respective counties. So let's take this break to be back. You are listening to the Today Show, and don't forget to keep on playing the radio entertainment game and stand a chance to win for yourselves. 4,000 Liberian dollars or 8,000 Liberian dollars at the end of the show. And during the show, the 4,000 draw will be done. All you need to do is to dial the playing code *799#. You're going to see a list of radio stations appear. Spoon FM is at number 3. Select number 3 for Spoon FM and pay the playing fee of 70 cents or 100 Liberian dollars. Once you do that, enter your mobile money PIN to confirm the payment, and you automatically get into the draw, and you stand a chance to win for yourselves 4,000 or 8,000 Liberian dollars right here on the show. Let's take this very quick break to be back with you.
Having listened to the well-written communication from Honorable Johnson S.N. Williams and Honorable James Menkulaen, I move, if I can obtain a second, that the said communication be received and that the said received and that the delegates in question be recalled and that elections be held on Tuesday to send our nomination to ECOWAS and all other parliament that this body usually send memo to. If I can obtain a second.
Honorable colleagues, with the motion being seconded on the basis of recalling our colleagues from ECOWAS that went in illegally and also having election on Tuesday, are you all right to vote? All right, Mr. William Fleming.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I will be ready to vote if the movement can accept this amendment so that instead of the election taking place on Tuesday, it can be pushed to Thursday, and then the Tuesday information will be circulated that there is vacancy, so that those who want to apply can apply for the sake of democracy. Yes, sir.
From the honorable gentleman from Nimba, you know, all of us here we want to see a just and more equitable process being held where elections can be held whether through resolution or whatsoever. I so accept in good faith.
Distinguished colleague, Madam Protem, yesterday the LSCC released a list of public officials appointed and elected. Those who complied, those who did not comply.
and 15 of our colleagues did not comply. I'm asking us, those 15 colleagues, the President of the Senate, the 15 senators who did not comply, they are listed. So, may I make my case represent? You see? Because maybe nobody can see our salary, we own to ourselves. That is why we're losing our stand. That's why we're losing our standing for oversight. Because who is going to have to declare the asset when we can declare our own first? That is everything we got to joke with and laugh with. Mr. President of the Senate, Madam President, distinguished colleagues, I think some mechanism need to be put in place here so that we can be made to abide by the law. We don't seem to be outside the law, and then it does not take away our oversight authority, that rectitude, that standing. So, so that will be the Pandora box. That will be the Pandora box. The LFCC is not right.
Don't even start. They get started on our phone. We put on our phone, they say something on the phone. You go pay for and say, Minister, they didn't say.
That you have the time on the floor. That is going to speak and you can have your time. Senator Dogo, please protect
The code of conduct was passed by the legislature. The code of conduct was passed by the legislature. In the code of conduct, the revised version, we deliberately stated in section 10 that public officials, categorized public officials, elected and appointed as categorized, must declare the asset. If you are elected, declare prior to entering the office. If you are appointed, you get within 30 days after your appointment to declare your asset. And when people come for confirmation hearing, even nominees who are not yet placed under the code of conduct, who have nothing to do with the code of conduct, we ask them questions if they have declared their asset. We who asking the question, we must declare our asset. Because at least we're already in the office. I rest my case.
Well, you're listening to the Today Show right here on Spoon 107.5. We live on our various social media platforms on Spoon TV Live, Fabric TV Live, Super TV Live, and via www.spoonfmradio.com. My name is Yekezi Zubel, and I've been joined by Mr. Wowie on the live stream. So at this juncture, we'd like to call across Liberia to speak with our various correspondents who will be filling us in with happenings in their respective counties. Now on the line is Victor Cooper from Upper Nimba County. Victor, good morning and welcome to the show.
So a pleasant good morning. You can say good morning to you, good morning to our listeners, and good morning to the Spoon family this morning.
Okay, so it's a pleasure to have you on the show this morning. Firstly, how is Nimba County?
Nimba is a little bit sad this morning with the death of one of the musicians, Jemima Walker, on yesterday morning. So since the death news of that, Nimba have been sad, and it is a sad one again for Nimba County.
Okay, the sad news for Nimbans. When did she die?
So we've told she died yesterday morning about 2 a.m. In the night in district number 5, the Zoge Health Center, Buyao district number 5. So we've told she have gone to perform on stage, including several Nimba County gospel musicians who went there to perform in remembrance of one of their sponsors who came from the state, who called every one of them to remember her upon the work she had done for them over the years. So based upon that, all of them departed Ganta to that place, to their previous location, to that place. So we even told when they were going, one of the musicians that is called Lorena Logan, who is a musician too, including one Emmanuel Wonken, on their way going to, they also have an accident on the way site where they are currently at the Methodist Hospital seeking treatment. So on that same occasion, the late Jemima Walker was on stage performing. Reportedly, she went off. She sat down quietly, like she was resting. Behold, she fell on the ground, where they rushed her at the Soul Care Health Center, and then she was reported dead. And then they brought her to the Sacred Bay Heaven Gate Funeral Home, where her body is then deposited.
And one may be thinking, what may be the cause of her death? I mean, she was well. I mean, she appeared well. Had gone to return, a concert, and just slowly sat on the ground and taken to the nearby health facility and reported dead the next morning.
So up to now, every one of us and everyone in Nimba is still investigating the death of that lady. But other people who do psychology and studying humans say it might apparently be a pressure. So pressure is the one surfacing now that everyone is looking up to, that she died from pressure. But apparently we'll look up to the health apparatus here to tell us what exactly happened. But people who were on the scene who gave a report said it might be pressure that knocked Jemima Walker down, actually led to her death.
Okay, a very sad news there. What was the popular gospel music for her from her?
No, she got 2 minute songs.
Okay.
I'm now a musician to do a cappella for her. She got 2 minute songs in the market.
Yeah, I'm not asking you to do an a cappella. I mean, one of her maybe a popular music, the title, and out of that.
She just made a song for a late senator also. She made the song. You guys, she got 2 minute songs. To be frank with you, I can't be able to go over her song. She got more than 200 songs in the market now. Since 2018, the woman started the process. But 2017, she started the process. So up to now, she got 2 minute songs. So she's been known as the man worker everywhere. She's been going in the US, coming back. She's been moving around the place, making music for Liberia and putting Liberia on the map in terms of gospel musician, gospel music. She's been putting Liberia on the map too as well. So she got 2 minute songs on the market. So if you just use her name, Jemima Walker, Jemima W Walker, Jemima M Walker, you will see that name coming up. Her music will be flowing on your page, and you'll begin to listen to many of her music. So she was Jemima M Walker. So that was her name. And so she here from district number 4 in a town called So Snelly. So that's where she used to come from, and then this situation happened.
Okay, sad news, and my consolations to the people of Nimba County for that great loss. Now let's go to other developments there in Nimba County. First, I want to take you to give us update about the impending election in Nimba County, the by-election. Tell us, what is the momentum like there now? I want to believe at about this time, people have started declaring their intention. Those who have been withholding their intention because maybe of the death of the late Senator Prince Johnson, I understand some of them have started declaring their intention to replace the late senator. What are some of the names coming up? Who are some of those who have of recent declared their intention?
So names still coming in here in Nimba County. You can see, before then, Koga name had been there, and then he was also joined by Mark Lewan, Garrison Yelu, Harrison Conway, Montana Timban, the less of Madam Ide Congro, where the less of Roland Tuo. Names keep still putting in here in Nimba County, but a recent wave on the media side here did opinion pool where Koga coming first, and then Garrison Yelu coming second to him. And in the process, on our own local opinion pool, just in Nimba County, so far. So, yesterday, our senator in Nimba County, Nyanti, spoke on OKF anymore review there, where he said in his speech he's going to support the Dan Dale in the election in terms of reciprocation, because it is now time I will reciprocate. The man who was dead was also a down man. So on the basis of that, it doesn't mean that you support another down man so that the trapper politics in the county will balance. So based upon that sense, yesterday up to this morning on various radio stations, people have been condemning the statement made by the senator that he becoming trapper in the House of Senate. So Nimba have 5 traps. So if he coming up to now support only a trap, what becomes the other 3? That's the Martingo, the Pele, the Bee, and other traps are here. What becomes of them? So there have been too many oppositional views around the place. But in defense of that, people who know the dynamic of politics responding to the senator that he is right to make that decision, because the man who was there referring to him as the godfather in the county was a Gio man. And because of that also, Nimba have 5 tribes, but it has been dominated by 2. So the 2 is the Mano and the Gio. So if the Guillaume is not there, there is a possibility that we also have a Guillaume going back to John Hinyan Detroit, who is a man on trap. So in defense of that, a lot of people are saying the senator was not wrong to make that statement. So anyone who feels anyhow can also make their own decision in terms of ballot board or placing the paper in the ballot board. So it is the ballot board that determines who becomes senator, but everyone has their side to support politically.
Okay, so the senator is essentially saying that if Koga is from the Mountain Tribe, right?
No, the Gio Trap.
Or Gio Trap, and
no, he said that did not declare any names, but he said he will support the Gio Trap.
Okay, and okay, yeah. So obviously, he's going to support Koga.
We will not determine that. Remember, we get Garrison Yellow in the red, we get Mark Blue in the red. These are all Gio guys. And we also got Roland Dewey, also a Gio guy, and Koga also a Gio guy too. So we don't want to determine his statement that he's going to support a specific person, even though he will come out to say, yeah, that person supporting, but Trap, he said, in terms of Trap, he's supporting the Dan Trap. So the Dan Trap is the focus right now. Until time in focus, then he will select who to support directly.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Tribal politics taking over the by-election there in April in Nimba County. Has there been other endorsements besides the one from the senator? Has there been other in endorsement? I mean, the vice president is there, even though the senator did not, endorse a specific individual, but a trap. But has there been other endorsement talking about renowned or prominent or endorsement from prominent or renowned individuals like the vice president?
There is no endorsement yet in Nimba County, but we've told the citizen of district number 5 in Nimba County will, on the end of this month, be endorsing Samuel Gomez Koga in his hometown, New York Goma Play, where we've told the end of this February they will be endorsing him. But there have been no permanent endorsement so far or endorsement so far in Nimba County. More especially the official of Nimba County, not one of them have been able to endorse any other person. Remember, recent Madam Ide Gonglo were also met with the vice president in Moravia there. So they have taken social media that she have gone to give an apology to the vice president for her support. So in rejection of that, people have been taking the Facebook pages and everywhere around the radio station that her meeting with the vice president was not in any way intended to support her, but to call for a reconciliation in the county after the death of the senator. So in defense of the meeting with the senator, the vice president, she said she had not gone to call the vice president to support her in the by-election, but she had gone to call on the vice president to call on reconciliation politically, socially, whatever way in the country, so that Nimba will reunite themselves and come back to face Liberia in terms of being in the country. So she had not gone to appeal to any other person for support, including says Madam Ide Gonglo were a recent.
Okay. One endorsement that was reported of recent has to do with the endorsement of the wife of the late Senator Prince Yami Johnson. She reportedly endorsed Samuel Koga. What does that mean? If it's true, what does it mean for Koga's ambition for the senatorial seat.
So you can see the lady married to a Nimba, and she now the daughter of the county. So she have now officially come to this county to call on the county citizen to support any other person. That thing was family discussion in Moravia there. It was done in Mercerado, and we met it on Facebook. It was not officially done where we media would sit into it and publish it from our own pages, giving a recording from her. So she now a citizen of this county. So whatever she needs to do, what she is doing, I think she will do it in consultation of citizens of this county, including officials, where she will publicly do it that everyone will witness it. So where it will maybe just single-handedly and quietly call on the representative Moravia there and giving her his her support, and giving him her support does not mean she are officially endorsed the representative. If she will do that in the interest of the county, I think in my mind it will be basically from the public perspective of the county, not being in Moravia. It's not Nimba County. So what happened that you're speaking about happening in Moravia there? So if it will happen, it will be officially done in the county that ladies and women of the county will come to her ear and join her in that induction service morning. But when you're talking about it was done in Moravia, so we think it was just a family thing that was done in Moravia the family way.
Okay, we watch to see what happens as we head to April, the month of April, when the by-election in Nimba will be held. Any other development for us before you take leave,
so let me close you on recent fire outbreak in Uganda. On Saturday, there was this outbreak in Bloody community where that's how it is. So 4-bedroom house got that fire and burned completely to ashes, and a child also in there and got burned, and that child is also seeking treatment at the Methodist Hospital, where the family are also seeking the public attention, most especially the government, to intervene, because currently they are displayed, send the photo in there, the video, everything is in there. So the house got that fire that Saturday morning, 10 o'clock a.m. So what the entire building burned to ashes to foundation level. If you see it, you actually go in parallel with the process. So that's how it looked like from Uganda in terms of fire outbreak. And yesterday afternoon around 3:15 p.m., we also witnessed a brand new Jeep belonging to one Ayuda, a Mandingo car, who has carried the car to the garage for repairs, and mechanic came to try the vehicle in the street on a third drive, and the vehicle got that fire too and burned to ashes right around the Guinea Road Junction. A brand new vehicle, we've told it was purchased almost 2 months ago, and that vehicle was burned yesterday around the Guinea Road Junction. And so the driver is right now in tears and highly frustrated. The owner is right now in tears and highly frustrated about the situation too, as we are so far from the fire outbreak.
Okay, that's concerning. And how many fire trucks Nimba County has now?
Just one. It's just still one.
A single.
Then
donated by Flotoma.
They haven't reached it yet. Representative Samuel Brown haven't reached it yet.
Oh, okay. So only the one donated by Flotoma is effective.
It's the only one I will use.
And it is stationed all the way in Sanikoli. So if a fire incident is happening in Tapeta, that single fire truck has to leave Tapeta to in fact Sanikoli to go all the way to Tapeta. And Tapeta, the distance is about maybe two hours, probably.
No, Sanikoli, there's a 4 hour.
4 hours.
Yeah, Sanikoli, Tapeta, the 4 hour.
4 hours. You see that? So that's a long distance. But I think the time will be less now, because I think they are paving. Yeah, they are paving the road now. So I think it's going to be around 2 to 3 hours now.
Sure.
Yeah. So I mean, it's something concerning. It's something that the fire service has got. But anyway, of recent, there was several fire trucks brought into the country. So maybe they're just going to Nimba is going to benefit from one, being one of the largest counties in Liberia.
We hope so.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Victor Cooper, and have yourself a pleasant day.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, so he's Victor Cooper there from Nimba County, our correspondent, filling us in with information emanating from that county. He talked about the political fever there in Nimba. As you may know, Nimba County is heading to a by-election, a vacancy created by the death of the late Senator Prince Yomi Johnson. And there are a lot of names, coming up. Mark Blewan, former commerce inspector, Koga, the District 5 representative in Nimba County, and a lot of other names have been coming up. But according to our correspondent, among those names, the name Koga remains outstanding, and Koga might his bid for the senatorial election might be endorsed by the current senator of Nimba County, Yan Twayen, because he was questioned of recent as to who he's going to support for the senatorial election there in the county. And according to our correspondent, he said he's going to support someone from the Gio Trap to be able to balance the equation at the Liberian Senate for Nimba lawmakers, because currently he's a man at the Liberian Senate. So according to him, he's going to support a Gio person to balance the equation. But will this equation really be balanced? Because Nimba County is a county that is made of more than two tribes. You got the Mandingos, you got the Bee, even you got Bella people in Nimba and other tribes there. So I don't know whether the equation will really be balanced if you if you only have the Manon and the Gio being represented. But again, one may say those are the two dominant tribes. Mr. Wowie.
Yeah, man, I feel want to agree with the correspondent. I mean, the senator, if he actually is going to throw his weight beyond a Gio person, I think that is personal view, opinion that people need to respect, but then he was somehow tribalistic. He's one of the leaders of the county, coming up to say, look, we got other tribes in Nimba, sorry, but we got the Gio and the Manons are the dominant tribes. So I'm a Manon man. I will support a Gio man to balance the equation. How is the equation balanced when it's not inclusive? You try to segregate the Gio, or separate the Gio and the Manon from the rest of the other tribes. So I think if he's coming out to support individual, an individual you want to support as a choice, you could just call him whether going on a tribal line, because this is the bureau who got it's like my own county Lofa, where we got 7 tribes, and one of the leaders from the county come up to say, look, I'm going to support this particular tribe. I think we also affected Steve Zago as well. During the 2023 election, the campaign, there was an occasion where he came in with our tribal line, so people used that particular issue against the former Lofa County Senator Steve Zago, which caused him indicted during the 2023 election. So I think it wasn't advisable that the senator go on the tribal line, because we got other tribes also heading from the county. That's what I can say to this, because it's going to be open. Gary Yolu was represented Nimba County before. I stand to be corrected as a representative. We also got the former FDA managing director, who also served as running mate
running mate to Bronsky.
Bronsky in the 2017 election. So these are all prominent names from the county, including the former superintendent of the county, who supported the CDC in the runoff during the 2023 election, even though she tried to stay neutral from the onset of the election. That's going to affect her looking at the county, how the county has now turned, being part of the ruling party. I see Madam Ida Gonglo with her chances to be slim, no matter the meeting she had with the vice president. I don't think those around the vice president will encourage him to, support somebody who did not, back his bill to become vice president of this country. So, like you keep saying, I think Koga for now remain the front runner in this race, and we can also keep an eye on Garrison Yelu.
Okay. Also, we've been joined by Chokon Flaman, who is still backstage. Chokon, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Yegesi and Mr. Wowie and the rest of the folks following. It's another great morning to be here, and I was just following through about the euphoria right now in Nimba County about this entire by-election. And again, like I always say, to be in a single county, to be selective of a tribe to represent the people, I think it is not a good thing to practice by national leaders. Once you are from that county, no matter whether you're from a minority tribe or you're from a majority tribe, you should be given the opportunity to serve your people. This is what the country stands for. There are some tribes in this country, and if you will do a survey in Monrovia and in other areas, you might not even find them, but they are part of the 16 tribes of Liberia. This going election, they were part of the decision-making process of the country. So again, Nima is a big county. We expect, the election to be free, fair, and transparent, and mostly someone who will seek the interests of a people. Then some of those politics that they complain that Senator Prince Johnson used to do, they for them to be able to continue that on a tribal basis, on the basis of region, on the basis of city, on the basis of alignment and all of that. Once you from Nimba County, and you are a son of Nimba County, I think you should be given the opportunity, to contest and represent your people. You can see.
Yeah, sure. So, if you just joined us, you are listening to the Today Show. At 9:00, we will be playing host to Bob Cato. Bob Cato is the Deputy Director for Administration at the National Food Assistance Agency in Liberia. So he's going to be our guest. He will be here, and we will talk a lot of issues pertaining to that government institution. That government institution, over the years has been very, very dormant, especially under the regime of the CDC. It has been very, very dormant. But it seems that the new leadership appointed by His Excellency Joseph Imampuaka is trying to reawaken, is trying to, revitalize that institution. So the Deputy Director for Administration, Bob Carter, will sit on our platform this morning to tell us what are some initiatives they are putting in place, what are some projects they are undertaking, what are some plans they are crafting, to ensure that that government institution or agency is proactive and effective. So in a few minutes, he will be here with us in studio to discuss about the National Food Assistance Program. But in the meantime, folks, let's go to the lines and take a few calls. Call us on 0777 771 0777 771 0555 101075 are the numbers to put it through. Call and have your say on the show here this morning. Again, 0777 1075 0555 101075 are the numbers to put it through. What do you make of everything that we've said here this morning on the show. Let's talk to this person. Good morning, your name and where you join us from. Good morning. And don't forget, please, keep on playing the radio entertainment game to win for yourselves big money here. We're going to be placing calls to some of our winners very, very shortly. So dial the playing code *799 hatch. Once you dial that, you're going to see a list of radio stations. Spoon FM is at number 3. Select number 3 for Spoon. Pay the playing fee of 70 cents or 100 Liberian dollars. Once you do that, you automatically enter the draw and you stand a chance to win for yourselves 4,000 Liberian dollars or 8,000 Liberian dollars. Yeah. The more you play, the more your chances are to win. And the only requirement is you must have a non-star cell, a valid non-star cell GSM SIM card that is registered with mobile money, and you must have money deposited on your mobile money account. So let's take this very short break because we need to get set up for our guest for today in person of Bob Cato. So let's take this short break to be back with you.
Distinguished colleague Marapota, yesterday the LSCC released a list of public officials appointed and elected. Those who complied, those who did not comply. And 15 of our colleagues did not comply. I'm asking us, those 15 colleagues, Mr. President of the Senate, the 15 senators who did not comply, they are listed. So, may I make my case with that? You see? Because maybe nobody can see our salary, we own to ourselves. That is why we're losing our stand. That's why we're losing our standing for oversight. Because who is going to have to declare the asset when we can declare our own first? That is everything we got to joke with and laugh with. Mr. President of the Senate, Madam President, distinguished colleagues, I think some mechanism need to be put in place here so that we can be made to abide by the law. We don't seem to be outside the law, and then it does not take away our oversight authority, that rectitude, that standing. So, that will be the Pandora box. That will be the Pandora box. The LSCC is not doing it. Don't even start. They get started on our phone. We put on our phone, they say something on the phone.
That you have the time on the floor. That is when you speak and you can have the time. Senator Lobo, please protect
the code of conduct was passed by the legislature. The code of conduct was passed by the legislature. In the code of conduct, the revised version, we deliberately stated in section 10 that public officials, categorized public officials, elected and appointed as categorized, must declare the asset. If you are elected, declare prior to entering the office. If you are appointed, you get within 30 days after your appointment to declare your asset. And when people claim for confirmation hearing, even nominees who are not yet placed under the code of conduct, who have nothing to do with the code of conduct, we ask them questions if they have declared their asset. We who asking the question, we must declare our answer. Because at least we're already in the office. I rest my case.
Mr. President of the Senate, distinguished senator, initially I thought to speak on this matter, but the protein said I should reduce for my concern in writing. And fortunately, or unfortunately for me, I see Senator did not raise the issue, so I therefore fact my in as an opportunity to speak on the matter. First, I want to be clear here first that our colleague Senator did not raise an issue that's very important. But I think what's important most should have been that the Secretary of the Senate should give for a report. Because consistent with 10.2 of the Code of Conduct, the depository of our filing is with the Secretary of the Senate. With the House of Representatives, it was the Chief Clerk.
You reject that?
In the judiciary, it stayed there. The amended law, talk about 4.1, I've been looking through it. Okay, that new law, I said you have it, but what I have, 10.2, still has the depository there. Now, so on that basis, some of us filed with the Secretary of the Senate.
People, ordinary people,
okay,
dealing with scholars.
We filed with the Secretary of the Senate. So we expect the Secretary of the Senate now to give a report on the status. Because it becomes blanket. We need to be clear on that part. Because it's filing. The second issue I want to raise here is that we are not going to be in a situation where, because the president speaks on a matter, even though belatedly on a matter, then people think we should run with things here. The first thing is that how can you suspend local government officials who you are not even paid for 9 months? You're not even paid for them in the first place. That's one. Two, they call up the regulation of the NDCC.
Today's show right here on Spoon 107.5 is 6 minutes on the flip side of 9 o'clock, and we are here still awaiting our guest for today. Once he arrives, we will be having discussion with him pertaining the National Food Assistance Agency of Liberia. But in the meantime, folks, on yesterday, was it yesterday? We saw a letter from the former District 7 representative, Solomon George. And that letter was kind of surprising to have seen him tendered in his resignation from the CDC, citing years of betrayal, years of intimidation, and internal corruption within the former ruling party. Yeah. So Solomon George has been a staunch member of the CDC, for many, many years. And he's been very committed to the CDC, especially when the CDC was in power. But now, he's tendered in his resignation, citing several reasons. Number one, betrayal. He's saying citing intimidation. He cited internal corruption within the party. So the question now is, when did he realize that all of those things happened within the CDC? But in his letter of resignation, he accused specifically former President George Weah of dishonesty, disloyalty, and fostering a culture of hypocrisy within the party. And he also detailed a series of grievances spanning 5 years, during which he claims his loyalty and dedication to the party were met with deception and hostility. According to him, his former political leader and President George Weah had at most times lied to him, stabbed him in the back, and pretended as if they were on the same page in doing the right thing for the young people of the party and the country. He also said He expressed dismay over what he described as a betrayal of trust and accused the party of being infiltrated by wicked, evil, ungodly people who he said have exploited Weah's popularity for personal gain. Solomon George went on to say that he has been targeted and marginalized by party officials, including being blocked from CDC communication platforms for the past 4 months. And he at the same time alleged that his dissenting views led to threats against his safety. He also said that he has come to the point where his former political leader, George Weah, is sending people to come after him, warning that any action against him will be met with legal resistance. So that's a summary of his letter of resignation. He cited betrayal, intimidation, internal corruption within the former ruling party, dishonesty, disloyalty, and accused we are fostering a culture of hypocrisy within the party. When did the former lawmaker come to the realization that all of these things were happening within the CDC? When did he actually come to the realization is the question. And we see a lot of defection from the CDC saying the CDC lost power since the Unity Party got defeated the CDC in the previous elections. We've seen a lot of defection. Like the one, the chairman of the CDC, Moba Malu, he was chairman of the CDC all along. Even though with a strained relationship between he and the president and other hierarchies of the CDC, he occupied that position. He was like a de facto. Another person was like the de facto, chairman of the party. He was just there and wasn't really given the credence and all of the privileges that a chairman of a political party should enjoy. But he buried for 6 years. He was there, never resigned. Right after the CDC lost election, he resigned quickly, and he went into civil activism. Yeah, and Solomon George as well has resigned, citing years of intimidation and betrayal from members of the CDC, and accusing his former political leader, the former president of the Republic of Liberia, of all of the bad things. What do you make of this, Chokon Flama? You frequently cover the CDC.
Well, Yegesi, to begin with, it is saddening that Mr. Josh will be coming up now after the election, and someone will say the CDC, I think, made him representative twice in that district. Seditians were having their own t-shirts. They were walking from place to place, from West Point into Central Monrovia to vote for him and to have him elected, twice on the ticket of the CDC. So he enjoyed the CDC over the years, and he was not just a mere member of the CDC. Mr. George was one of those founding fathers of the CDC, and he stayed a long time, close to almost a 2 decade in the CDC. So at this point, for him to write a letter while stepping aside from the CDC due to some reasons, to just say all of the negative things about the institution. There are a lot of people who were in the CDC that just walk away. Mobile Bolu is one of those people who just walk away no matter what happened. But aside from other things, I think he enjoy a lot. He enjoy a lot of privileges from the CDC, and he was given the opportunity through the party to serve the people of Liberia. So, Mr. Josh, though he has his own reason, but I don't think it's a good thing, as a person who has been in the party for all the years, and all of those things were happening on his watch, and he did not take any action. He did not say anything about it. After the election, the CDC lost the election. No more milk and honey. He was not re-elected as representative of District 7 Montserrat County. He was replaced, and the CDC is no longer in power. And then he comes out to say he was betrayed by the CDC. I think it's just unfortunate at this time.
Yeah. Will we quickly, let's get your view on this just before taking our guest.
I mean, let me first disagree with my own friend. Trokon Molwa Molu did not walk away in silence. Molwa Molu, like other citizens who deflected from the party, have all cited dissatisfaction. And even while President Williams was in power as President of the Republic of Liberia under the CDC-led government, or head of the CDC-led government, Molu expressed dissatisfaction. And because of some of the things he said, he was kept as a de facto political chairman of the party and did not control party activity as a chairman during the election. And most of what we heard from Solomon George yesterday, we say are later, but the issue of, the misusing proximity with our political leaders in this country is not just with the CDC. This is something across. People who were close to former President Weah did abuse the proximity to the president and went after each other. We know some of these reasons led to the CDC losing the 2023 election. So Solomon George, like other CDCians who deflected after the election, have all cited dissatisfaction. Well, I said timely, like Yakazi asked, no, it's belated. It's belated. As a political party, these are things that you have done or work on to resolve, rather than waiting to lose the election and come back to shift blame from this person to that person. And President Weah, being the political leader of the party, will take most of these blames.
Okay, yeah. So, folks, that's it. We will take a very short break again to usher in our guests. You're listening to the Today Show, better still, the Spoon Morning Show, right here on Spoon 107.5. We live on our various social media platform, and this morning we have as our guest live in studio the Deputy Director for Administration at the National Food Assistance Program. He's Bob Cato. He's already here in the studio. So we'll take a very short break. We'll come back. We're taking on to talk about issues relative to that government institution.
The opposition speaker will not push our agenda. We need to have our own speaker. So today I'm the regime speaker. The speaker of the Republic of Nigeria is 100% supporting His Excellency Joseph Nimba County. No speaker from the opposition will promote us. So we as politicians start and so the people of the general arrest or proceeding. The general was suppressed an opposition speaker. We will not sit there and let go any further. All the things we plan to do, we avoid damage.
Welcome back. This is the Today Show right here on your favorite dial 107.5. We also live on our various social media platforms. Spoon TV Live, Fabric TV Live, and Super TV Live. This morning is 20 minutes on the flip side of 9 o'clock. And we now have in our studio Mr. Bob Cato. Bob Cato is the Deputy Director for Administration at the National Food Assistance Agency. And he's right here with us with no time to waste. Let's go directly to our guest this morning. Mr. Cato, good morning and welcome to the Today Show on Spoon 107.5.
Let me say good morning to you and good morning to all of our people listening. And let me quickly express my apology for being late. I hate to do this. But being the acting Director General, there are a couple of urgencies that came up this morning requiring my attention, and some unforeseen activities actually, got me coming late. So I'm very sorry for that.
Okay, we understand. How is the agency? You say you are the acting Director General. Where is your Director General? Is he out of country?
Yeah, he traveled. And he should be back hopefully this week.
Official trip?
No, medical reason.
Oh, okay. Let's leave that. So again, how is the National Food Assistance Agency?
We are doing good. Like I said to somebody, as a farmer, those of us who grew up in the interior, if you brush your farm and burn the farm, and your own farm did not burn well, you don't wait to go on the farm. The same time everybody goes on the farm because you have to go to all of clearing activities, construction. So we have to overwork if we should catch up because we took over a completely dormant entity. But the prospect is high, and I think the rebranding process is right, of course.
Okay. So like you said, you took over a very dormant government institution. A lot of people don't know about this government institution, except maybe since your leadership is kind of bringing that institution to some level of spotlight, but yet and still, it's not yet there yet. Now that a lot of people know, the mission of this particular institutions. So can you start off by maybe providing an overview of the mission purpose of the National Food Assistance Agency of Liberia?
You know, the National Food Assistance Agency was established in 1970 through an executive order. And the sole purpose, actually, there was subsequent executive order that came afterwards. And the sole purpose was to coordinate food assistance programs between the government of Liberia and institutions and entities of the international organizations that were giving food assistance. So, like the WFP, there were careful actually that students were eating food all day. They were basically the work of the National Food Assistance Agency along with the donor partners. So that is actually the purpose for which that entity was established, to coordinate all food assistance programs during emergency period, normal period, all of that. So that is the mission. But unfortunately, after the war, the entity has been dormant. So people have been working, it only got revived when former President George Manowia repositioned issue as like the other 101 to reposition the entity. I'm not hearing myself.
Yeah, you live. Just
okay. So during the COVID-19 period, the entity started moving, getting involved with the stimulus package and so forth. But the overall goal or mission of the entity is to ensure the overall food security, especially for vulnerable population.
No, okay. And like you said, the agency has been dormant for some time now. So could you explain maybe what led to the dormancy of the entity over the years?
Well, we cannot speak clearly, but I think one of the main reasons is the fact that the entity has been operating on executive order.
Okay.
It has not been enacted as an autonomous agency.
Okay.
And so if a particular person comes and see the need to, to see the entity functioning, the issue executive order, which lasts for a year or so. But by default, he has always had staff that are working on payroll.
Okay.
And whether an executive order was issued or not, these staffs have been there since the 1970. So when we came on, the president issued executive order 129, also repositioning the entity, and we are making significant progress in getting our act passed. In 2019, there was a bill proffered by Senator Darius DeLong, the light, the man who I really supported, and if you gave me the chance 10 times, I would definitely support. And that bill was passed at the Senate, the Liberian Senate. So our understanding is that it did not surface on the floor of the lower house because there was this signal that an opposition lawmaker was trying to take glory, and if the act passed, it would be to the credit of Senator Dillon. So that bill did not surface on the floor of the lower house. We've done some assessment on the bill. We've sought some legal opinion on it. And by today, throughout this week, we've been engaging some influential lawmakers at the lower house. Even today, I will have a couple of engagement with them so that we can see how best this bill can pass at the lower house. So once the bill is passed, the entire issue of dormancy may not be an issue; it will be an issue of the past because it will be an institution with longevity, a legal institution.
So can you explain more about this bill? Is it because I'm told there's an ongoing process to make the agency autonomous? Is this the bill that's going to make the agency autonomous, or how is the process moving along, when it comes to the ongoing process to make that agency autonomous?
So the operating executive orders, which are renewed annually, sometimes mutilate the entities in terms of long-term plan, long-term strategic direction of the agency. And even partnership, you don't have a sustainable donor partnership for 3, 4, 5-year projects when you are only having a year lifespan. So it's been operating as a semi-autonomous agency in the sense of its executive order and the rollover of the function. But if the bill passed, then we become a complete autonomous agency, and our function now cannot be shared with any different institutions. So yes, the bill was passed at the Senate, like I said, and we are making effort to have that arrangement finalized at the lower house. And I'm confident that the few lawmakers we've engaged, the signals are positive.
Okay.
And I think hopefully before the expiration of the recent executive order, efforts will be made to to ensure that act is passed. Hopefully.
Okay. Now, what are some immediate steps being taken by the new leadership there to revive or to reactivate the institution and resume its operations? Or so far, I think you guys have been there for a little over a year or less. What has been your achievement so far?
We actually been there for less than a year.
Okay.
We got our appointment letter April 24th specifically. So yes, we've been there less than a year. When we took over, my boss and mentor, I can call him a leader actually par excellence, Honorable Boaka A.M. Salif. Myself and my colleague, Honorable Elton S. Dixon. We took over an entity with 2 office rooms at the Ministry of Public Works, with no logistics, absolutely nothing. So the 3 of us appointed officials were on a single table. I don't call it a desk; it's a table. If you saw it, you would know exactly what's a table. So 3 of us sitting around a table, and every day we go to work. The 3 of us have to be in our scripture room and around a single table. 3 presidential appointees. And then the rest of our staff were in a room, all of them. So the working environment was not conducive for us enough. And so the first step we took was to be able to find a way to leave. And so we found a place. We relocated operations with the advice of the board.
Okay.
And so we relocated. When we also took over, we took over actually, 23 staff, 9 of whom were female, and we have 14 of them that were male. All of them making $150 gross monthly salary, whether you HR, you comptroller, no regards for employment grade, no regard for qualifications, no regard for position. Sweepers, everybody is making 150 United States dollars as a gross across the board. So our initial engagement was to have series of engagement with the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning and the Civil Service Agency for the review of the salary of our staff. And so when we made a case, we had a couple of different documentations we needed and reasons we needed to provide, series of meetings we should have. So they got convinced that yes, it was not necessary for everybody to make the same amount. But in a period, 6 of our staff got retired, including the person who was acting as an HR. Of course, she also was making the same $150.
Okay.
And so we could not recruit a person as an HR to give them $150. So we requested the Ministry of Finance to second one of their staff to us. And they helped us with a staff, Ms. Christiana Kayepa, who has been into the HR activities of their entity for a while. So Chris was seconded to us sometime in July, and the ministry now were paying her, even though she was working for us, and the ministry was paying her. So in that process, we had to reassess the staff we had and identify the staffing gap in terms of training, in terms of capacity, and also the need to bring additional staff on board. So the entity did not have any TOR for even those staff that were there. So we have to, working along with her, we have to develop a TOR submitted CSA for standardization. We participated in the manpower planning process. But then the Ministry of Finance has recently become when Minister Gaffron came. In fact, we met all of the ministers. We met Kamara, and when he left, we met Honorable Anthony Myers, and later on when Gaffron came, Honorable Gaffron came, the three of us also went and met him. And he said, that cannot happen. So they agree with us and make appropriation for the upgradement of our staff salary, those who are already there based on their portfolio. And they need to bring additional professional staff that will help, with to enhance the entity actually or the operation. So we've done the manpower planning. We got authorization from CSA and did an advertisement. It was publicized, and internal and external advertisement was publicized. For the external one, it was on our platform and website and all of that. And we done a recruitment based on the advice of the CSA and in line with the TORs that were developed. And of course, the recruitment process is at the final stage. Our PAMs for those staff are already at the payroll section of the CSA. And we hope for that before this weekend, they can be enrolled and they can be sure of taking pay February. And so that is one part of our activities. Professional staff were recruited. We didn't have a procurement officer. A lady was recruited to serve in that gap. One lady who have been with IRC all along, she was one of those that got recruited after the interview was conducted. She was found to be suitable. One Annie Flomo. So yes, we brought additional professional staff in addition to the staff we had. And that's one mark we've made.
Okay.
And you want me to go ahead with different?
Yeah,
we we also decided to, after we relocated and we started a rebrand in terms of getting staffing, we also developed a user-friendly website and established a Facebook or social media platforms.
Okay.
And the essence of those were to actually increase public awareness and visibility of the entity.
Okay.
And we also do that to improve the services for people to have access to the services we provide and our resources.
Okay.
And that website is the nfaa.gov.lr is functioning, and all of our activities are there. And we are using it to also interact with the public. Right now, we are on a procurement process.
Okay.
But before then, what did we do when we took over? We decided that we would be part of all of the activities in terms of the development planning. So when the national development planning process were on, we participated from start to end in the agricultural sector. And as a matter of fact, during the validation, we were the one preferred to make the presentation on behalf of the entire agricultural sector with 9 organizations. We make the case along with Assistant Minister Francis Momba. Francis Momba actually make the final presentation for the entire sector. So we managed to make our programs included in the arrest agenda for inclusive development, the homegrown feeding program. And with that, we are convinced that our activities will not be something where it will be dashed, because right now in the development programs, a development plan. Yeah, so these are a couple of things to do. Like I said, procurement process. For the first time in the history of this entity since 1970, we were able to get some funding for goods and service. We didn't, like I told you, you were to our office space for the opening of the office. When we relocated, we wrote the UNDP and make a case to them. They supply all equipment, furniture, equipment, computers, and all of those, air condition, everything is sum of a little over 55,000, on it overall. So then we say, okay, we can't be working all alone, and we do not have logistics, nothing at the camp. Like our coming out to get on motorbike. So funding were made available for goods and services. We did a procurement plan. In 3 days, it was approved because so far PPCC did not see any issues with our procurement plan. And our procurement processes are ongoing. the publicity or the notice, procurement notice for the national competitive bidding, which has to do with the vehicle, is already on the website. It's in the newspaper. And I want to believe PPCC have published it already because we sent it to them. It's also on our platform. It's on our social media platform. And of course, the procurement processes for the...
And what is the name of that social media platform?
National Food Assistance Agency.
The name of the institution.
Yeah, National Food Assistance Agency on Facebook. Once you go there, even a announcement for our guys in terms of the somebody could distract for the recruitment of our staff are also published on that platform. So yes, we did that. So the procurement process is ongoing for security guard service, for petroleum products, for vehicles.
Okay.
Initially,
so currently, none of the directors have a vehicle.
We do not even have one. We didn't have one LD, one Liberty for anything. We use our salary to provide electricity for the building we in, for cleaning material, for the day-to-day running of that entity is the director general and the two of us who always, even staff, janitors and other staff that were not in a place, we have to make sure we create provision for our salary. But it's okay. We are not complaining. It's just part of the sacrifices. In fact, I feel more motivated that we have to take over an entity of such nature and make history by bringing it up. And trust me, before we leave the National Food Assistance Agency, everybody will fight to go there. Because, I mean, less than a year, the progress we've made, right now we are going to procure 4 cars.
Okay.
We are going to procure 4 cars. The intention was to buy three or 2 cars, and I convinced my boss, it's good to have all the expensive cars, but why if we get some pickups around $24,000 and get 2 for the 2 deputies and 1 for utility for our other staff to be using, if we are going out to collect data, because one of the mandates is to establish complete database, of all of the food assistance organizations in the country, and also establish database for all the vulnerable population. We've succeeded in getting a database for all the orphanages in Liberia.
Okay.
All the orphanages in Liberia. But yesterday we were working with the Ministry of Education, the assistant minister actually, and we are going to conclude on it today or hopefully this week to get first-hand database for those in the food assistance program at the school feeding, all of the institutions involved with school feeding and where they are doing it.
Okay.
And then we can validate those data based on our own interaction with them so that we know who is doing what where, to make it easy for us to track. Because what we realized in our most recent engagement, you can see, is people do selective and occasional food assistance, and sometimes you realize that one vulnerable group is getting more, and another is not getting it. So the role the National Food Assistance Agency wants to play is to sit now as a coordinating entity, and as we should be, and as a repository for all food assistance programs. You are a politician, you are an organization, whoever you are, you want to give food assistance. We are not saying give it to us to go and distribute it. Just come to us and say, we got food, we want to give it out to this group. We will go and look in our database. For example, you see the School of the Blind, Biankota School. We look in there and see how many donations they receive this month and which entity is still, in the same environment that needs food assistance. We can be able to give you the direction. So, like, you want to build clinic, you will not bypass the Ministry of Health. You want to build schools, whether it's private or a non-governmental school, you will not bypass the Ministry of Education. When you want to do food assistance, please don't bypass the National Food Assistance Agency. With that, we can equitably reach out to all vulnerable populations with food assistance, leaving no one behind.
All right, so folks, you're listening to the Today Show right here on Spoon 107.5. It's approximately 17 minutes up to 10 o'clock, and we have in our studio as guest the Deputy Director for Administration at the National Food Assistance Agency of Liberia. He's the acting Director General now, because the Director General is on medical leave. So he's here talking more about the institution, the NFAA. He's given us a background and the road of the NFAA. He's talked about some initiatives that the NFAA is currently undertaking. He talked about manpower planning and recruitment, website development and launch, procurement processes, and now, let me take you to annual implementation plan. Your agency has just concluded the development of a consolidated annual implementation plan. Could you share what this plan entails and how it can guide or it will guide the agency's operations in the coming year?
Basically, it's the work plan for this year. I basically came partly from the private sector and from the public sector. So it's not easy to achieve without a plan. It's not easy. I don't know whether people do that without any hindrance, but I'm not able, even on a daily basis, you see, I work with this. It's not possible to go a day without noting what I want to achieve. I must note it so that at the end of the day, I'll be able to look at my note and say, okay, what was achieved today? What can be carried forward and all of that. It helps you know where you are and where you are going. If you know where you are and where you are going, you will know when you are there. So when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So what we did for this year, last year was not, we had an operational plan, but it was not consolidated. And so this year we decided to do it differently. So with the authorization of my DG, I asked to develop a performance target in the form of a work plan. And when that was done, we constituted a committee to go and do a draft, putting in a context because the different way they program it, there were certain things that were unique. I mean, just in the form of a template, not omitting any of your activities, but how to contextualize it, and they did that, they brought it. And after that, we call all of the units head to a 3-day working session to make sense out of the work plan. And so it was consolidated. It's being finalized and submitted to our DG for onward submission to the board of directors for approval. When it is approved, it's going to serve as a guiding principle for us for this year as to what we want to achieve, how we intend to achieve it, and what it will cost to have them achieved.
Okay, you also have a 5-year strategic plan, or you preparing for a 5-year strategic plan. What are the key objectives of this plan, and how do you envision it transforming the agency's impact on food assistance in Liberia?
As we intend to take charge, we want to start, cleaning our house. We got to do some housekeeping.
Okay.
So the strategic plan will provide a strategic direction of the entity basically for the next 5 years. Okay, just like our annual implementation plan. By right, our annual implementation plan is actually supposed to be taken from the strategic plan based on what we hope to achieve in year 1, in year 2, in year 3. We didn't have that. So what we look at to develop our annual implementation plan for this year is actually the goal of the entity in alignment with the arrest agenda for inclusive development. Components of the agricultural sector that has to do with us and what our mandate is. But with the strategic plan, we already have a 5 years, a roadmap, seeing where we are going, and you just go and extract what you need to do in year 1 and spread it across. So the process is ongoing. We found the consultancy firm. They made presentation to the board. The first board meeting was well attended actually, with the chairman of the board present, Honorable Director J. Alexander Nuta, the Minister of Agriculture. The Minister of Education, also a member of the board, was there. The Minister of Commerce was there, and other partners organizations that are on the board. So the first board meeting was held, and the consultancy firm make a presentation to the board and giving a cost and a template of how they intend to do the strategic plan. We are still waiting on the authorization of the board and resource mobilization to pick up with the initial stage of the plan. But we are hoping that will be done before the May year.
And you've also been reaching out to vulnerable groups, providing food assistance. Can you tell us more about that, the process and the impact this support has had on those communities?
Well, this outreach actually was part of our awareness process, and more than that, to also be able to raise awareness, like I said, on the importance of food assistance and the well-being of the vulnerable population. We did not have a dollar for goods and service, but we reached out to 1 or 2 institutions, and they gave us small money. NASCOP, which is the National Social Security and Welfare Corporation, the United Motor Corporations in Fairtime. There's a group called Top NK. It's based in the U.S. Medical Supply or something like that. 1 or 2 groups, and they give us small money, and we use that money to create awareness, because our programs that we have earmarked is basically for home. We call it homegrown feeding program.
Okay.
So our focus is while we are going to be providing food assistance, we are going to also put emphasis on homegrown food, locally produced food. You can see we all eat cassava, we all eat edibles, we all eat plantains and the rest of those. What is wrong if we decide to carry food, to a particular group of people, or even in the schools? What is wrong with us buying edibles and plantains and cassava and all of those and carrying it? What is wrong? If there's anything wrong, can we solve it? With that, we are going to also promote local content in terms of the food we eat, as much as provide incentive for local farmers. So we are creating that awareness. And so when we received the money, what we did, we bought local rice from some farmers, local farmers. We bought edibles, we bought plantain, we bought red oil, and mixed it with, so it was 60% local food and 40% imported food.
Okay.
Bought the imported rice and mixed it up, because that's what our people are used to. Just to create an awareness that where we are now, we have come not just to provide food assistance, but also to incentivize or provide, put money in the pockets of local farmers to encourage more farming. And because that's part of our mandate, to buy, the excess produce on the farmers and redistribute or distribute it to the prison, to the schools, and even emergency period.
Okay,
and so that was the essence.
Talking about distributing food to the school, and what is your agency doing? Because before we used to see your agency worked through the Ministry of Education, to provide food assistance at various schools. Talking about public schools. So, is there any plan to reincorporate that into the school system?
Yeah, so like we said, we already succeeded in making sure that is in a development plan, a national development plan, a research agenda for inclusive development. School feeding has not been a sustainable thing owned by the government from what we have been made to understand. It's been done by institutions with interest, and the disaffiliated schools and all of that, like Mary Mills, the Mercy Corps. So it's not holistic. It's not affecting all of the primary schools. They call it, ECD. That's how they call it. Those early learning. Something.
Yeah.
So we want to make it more sustainable and make the government to own it. Conversations are being had, and we are hopeful that the Director General Baka Salif and the board can conclude on it to see how we can start the pilot of it, meaning we are given resources to start a pilot and see if we can focus on public schools, but only at elementary school, because the essence of school feeding is for retention. Like I told you in one of my interviews, I was in the interior. It took almost like 1 hour, 30 minutes from my farm to school. And in the morning, one of the things that will motivate me to go to school is because I'll see buckwheat on campus and I'll eat beans. At the end of the day, it helps me to learn. It was not because I was already going with the mindset I'm going to learn. Usually they'll be up to go to school on an ordinary day. But when we know Baka, we will be on that camp, my man, we gotta go. So these things help students with the retention and also learning outcome.
Yeah.
It helps learning outcome. Once the child is in school, they are not worried that they will be hungry. They will learn.
Okay.
So government has to own it. It should not be left with donors alone. We cannot leave it to be something that will be occasional or things that people have to decide to do. It should be stuff that government will own it. And I want to believe the reason why government not owned it since the 70s is because the National Food Assistance Agency was dormant.
Okay.
We are here now.
Yeah, so we have limited time. Mr. Wowie, you want to ask any question? But just before you come in with the question, those of you listening, remember the dashboard is open for the radio entertainment game. Very soon we'll be drawing winners. So if you want to form part, all you need to do is to dial the code *799#. Select number 3 among the list of radio stations that appear. Choose out pay the playing fee of 70 cents or 100 Liberian dollars. Once you do that, you automatically enter the draw, and you stand a chance to win 4,000 Liberian dollars or 8,000 Liberian dollars here at this point. We've already drawn a lot of winners here. We'll be calling a couple of them just before we leave. But we have in our studio the Deputy Director for administration at the National Food Assistance Program, and we're having conversation pertaining to that institution. Quickly, Mr. Wowie, before we go to the phone lines.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of concerns. I mean, you started up by saying, I mean, your staffs at the National Food Agency were 23 and everybody make the same amount, 150. Have that particular situation being resolved now? Are they getting their monthly salary regularly, and has it improved?
Well, thank you very much. That was part of the review process. Like I said, the pen for those staff, some of whom were reclassified and some of whom were newly recruited, is at the final stage. What we can safely say, if everything goes well, nobody is going to make less than $200 at the National Food Assistance Agency, even if you're a sweeper. So we managed to get some appropriation in the national budget upon which we have made decision. Directors, each hour you're going to pay according to the pay grade, because the pay grade has a range. So let's say from 1 to 10 or from 200 to 600 is the range.
Yeah.
You are not going to be below that range if you are an HR or a controller. So yes, there is significant improvement. The least at the National Food Assistance Agency in terms of our staff will be $200, but there are also people who are going to make over $1,000 based on their pay grade.
And lastly, I mean, the Ministry of Agriculture got this pillar project or this school feeding program that is to start shortly. Are you involved? What is your involvement with the Ministry of Agriculture?
Well, we are coordinating with the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Agriculture on the school feeding programs. When you get in a son late, you can't behave like one thing more than everybody. We were not yet people who are doing our job. So you can't kind of say, well, yeah, the people who are doing it because you're not there. You can't kind of fight them. So what we do is we come now and compliment them, appreciate them, and say, okay, they have to trust that you can do it before they leave it with you to do it. So we are working with them while at the same time setting up our own system that will make us, just in case we take total charge, we can manage it in a way that will not just be fighting for it, but will also be sustaining it. So we're also doing learning from the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Agriculture on the way they've been doing it in the past and what has been working, what has not been working. So like I said, up to this week, we're going to conclude with the Assistant Minister at the Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Education on these kind of discussions.
Okay, so we go to the lines now. If you've been listening to our discussion and want to make an import, all you've got to do is to dial the code *799#, call us on 0777 0777 1075 0777 1075 0555 101075. We have in our studio Bob Cato, is the Deputy Director for Administration at the National Food Assistance Program, and we've got just 2 minutes to go. So,
acting manager.
yeah, he's the acting director general. Yeah, he's the acting director general at the NFAA. So if you have any question for him, if you have an input to make, all you've got to do is to call our hotlines 0777 1075 101075. But we have limited time to go as we are with callers. Mr. Cato, what are some challenges your institution is currently faced with?
Oh, immense challenges. We really don't emphasize on challenges because we always want to transform it into opportunity.
Okay, so let me just hold you there quickly and speak to this person. Good morning.
My name is Charles Cooper. I joined from the school, man. Also, I come to the research the same idea.
Yeah, Cyrus, go ahead quickly.
I mean, you occasion to things in the studio and all the director who agencies to look for how I do. I think this agency maybe not only Mr. Butter between because due to the effort the old director have put in to make the entity
Okay. Thank you very much. Let's see if we can talk to this other person. Okay, this person left the line. Let's talk to this other person. Oh my God. So our orange line is down, but you can call us on 0770-417724, 0770-417724, 05101075. Yeah, those are the numbers to put it through. Yeah, Mr. Director, please go ahead.
So the outstanding challenge we have as an institution is the issue with the act.
Okay.
That will set a basis for progress and set a basis of independence and effective functioning of the institution.
Okay,
yeah, go ahead, please.
Let's talk to this person. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, this person left the line. Yeah.
As a state institution, once the act is passed, we can surmount all of the difficulties that lie ahead, because life is a challenging place. We didn't have a car, we will soon get a car. We never have an office, we do have an office. Once the act is passed, all of those issues will come together.
Okay. All right. So finally, is there anything that you want to say that we did not talk about? We already out of time.
Well, I will want to beg our lawmakers. We want to firstly say thanks to Senator Abraham Darius DeLong, the light, for the effort in making sure that the National Food Assistance Agency passed into law at the upper house. We are begging our lawmakers, especially our rescue lawmakers, to help us. We are engaging them. We wanted to make sure that this institution does not only operate on an executive order or become a liability on government where staff will just be paid all the time, but the institution is performing no role, particularly in terms of delivering service to the Liberian people. Once you enact the institution, the potential of getting donor partnerships and making sure that food assistance programs are sustainable is high. So we look forward to lawmakers at the lower house. We call on Speaker Kuhn, Richard Nangbe Kuhn, and his colleagues to help actually make sure that the National Food Assistance Agency is enacted into law. They concur with the Senate to pass the bill to make the entity a legal institution and a state institution of government. So we'll be there throughout this week. Just today, I'm going at the Capitol building after year, and we'll keep engaging with them. And also look forward to DeLong helping us along the way with that, so that the act is passed.
Okay, you're not calling on speaker for Nancy too.
And we want to say thanks to the family. We want to call on it. We want to say thank you to the Spoon family for actually affording us this opportunity. We look forward to more of this.
Okay.
So we can be heard about, and people can be able to develop interest in what we do.
Okay. Yeah. So you're not going on speakerphone and take over.
There you go. If you want me to get two speakers, then you'll be one DJ.
Okay, that's it. Bob Cato is the acting director general of the the NFAA, the National Food Assistance Agency of Liberia. He's been here discussing more about that institution that's been dormant over the years, especially on the regime of the CDC. Nothing was heard about that agency, but the new leadership appointed by President Joseph Boakai is trying his best to resuscitate that government institution. And I'd like to say kudos to them. Hope they continue their hard work. It's been a wonderful conversation. It's been a wonderful program here this morning. Many thanks to all of you for your listening role. Those of you who called in, those of you who tried calling in, but your calls were probably obstructed by another call. We'd like to say thank you very much. Mr. Wo, we found out before we take leave of you.
No, it was a fun show. And God's willing, we'll be here tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Another fascinating edition.
Okay, and those of you who played the radio entertainment game, please check your phones. I'm sorry, we are already out of time, so we cannot call. So check your phones. I've already joined several winners, walking away with 4,000 and 8,000 Liberian dollars. The next announcer will be calling more and more and more winners on the show. Keep listening to Spoon. My name is Yekezi Zoba, bidding you pleasant goodbye from Odious Congo Town in Monrovia, Liberia. Bye-bye.